Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the MSR Automobilista 2 GT1 2005 Championship, round number 5. We have gone over the halfway stage in the championship. There's a great publicity shot, the Lemon Astons. Nicely done, gents. Oh, you went and ruined it, Matt, so you're now doing lawn mowing in the car. So yes, we've gone over the halfway stage now, and as it's a little more traditional over here at MSR, we've started a little bit early today. We are still in practice. I'll get rid of the information on the screen. There we go. We are here at the 2001 layout of Silverstone, a track very near and dear to my heart, somewhere I have been to several times, somewhere I've commentated at, not in this layout, but a track I know very well and very much a big fan of. Now, the reason why we're starting a little bit earlier tonight is so that we can have a bit of a tier list of the liveries. Hello, Galax. As always, you are straight in there. Good to see you, sir. Now, I guess as we are looking at the Lemon Aston Martins of Matt and Ultimate Cater, and they are in the same shot. That is brilliant. May as well start with now rating these is going to be very hard. I wasn't ready for this. This is actually Martin suggested we should do this. I
haven't been introduced yet, so I cannot comment.
Good point, well made. My co-commentator, as always, and the man in charge of the cameras is Martin. Good to have you at my side, good sir. Oh, Andrew, you cannot be voting yet. There's no
Greetings.
And there's the rolling R, which I'm jealous of every single week. So, as mentioned, we are looking at the Lemon Aston Martins. I do like... Oh, bit of a slide there. The thing is, are we rating them individually or are we rating them against each other? Because I feel we should rate them kind of individually. And
yeah, we'll both be sharing our own rating, and we have about 12 minutes left. So I think we've given these guys quite a bit of screen time so far. So let's put some gas into it.
We're already having an argument in chat. Leave Ant-Man alone. I do quite like the Lemon Astons. So we're going with S, A, B, C, and D. Oh, I would say I think a fair amount of effort's gone into this. So I'm going to go with. I'm toying between B and A here. I think that's worthy of a. That's certainly worthy of a B. Where are you on this, Martin?
Yeah, I'm kind of torn between those options as well. It does look realistic enough to be a real livery, aside from the joke sponsors, of course, which are always fun to try and spot on each car. Purely for like my personal taste, it doesn't necessarily have my favorite color combinations or anything, but it does work. So I'd be willing to give it a low A tier. Yeah,
I would say that is absolutely fair. Alexandra, good to see you. That is very, very kind of you indeed to say so. The Anime Aston. Oh, now I've got to say a fair amount of effort has gone into this. It's very. The pink still. Andrew, behave. Yeah, the pink just. No, I struggle with the pink tier. I'm sorry, a pink tier, pink color.
We have a new tier, ladies.
Yeah, S, A, B, C, D, pink. Yeah.
See, the funny thing is, earlier you couldn't even remember the color of the car, which makes it even crazier.
That's the stupid thing. I was like, why do we suddenly have a pink car? And Andrew's hung his head in shame. I forgot Kodiak. That's been there all season. You have talked about it many, many times. The pink isn't the issue here. Well, good point, well made there, Andrew. As much as a fair amount of effort has gone into the Anime Aston, the pink for me is that puts it into about of a C category for me. No, not taking anything away from the hard work that goes into these liveries, but
Yeah, I was about to say you didn't even take the mustache into account in your
Oh yeah,
ranking.
that is also true. There is a mustache in the airbox, as you were calling it earlier, which is a lovely touch. But it's a good livery. I like all of them. But if we're being kind of brutal about it, I would say even with the Nyan cat staring at me, um, I am going to put that one as a C tier.
Yeah, I mean it's very reminiscent of their previous livery, of course. Well, I'll have to get the elephant out of the room first. I don't endorse drinking and driving, of course. I don't think any of us here do. But aside from the team name, it is a very typical livery for them. I think the previous one worked a bit better with the color combination that they had. This one, it definitely stands out, but it does look like it's kind of just got some good ideas, just kind of copy and pasted onto it on top of a bit of a boring color scheme. So a bit more work could have gone into it. I'll have to give this one. Um, yeah, I mean, the mustache, it barely brings it into low B tier for me.
Fair point. Okay, pick your next victim. Ah, yes. Now, I have always been a big fan of how this livery looks. I do have to point something out, though. That this has been brilliantly done. I love the JPS livery, the JPS inspired livery here. Although the rearrangement on the back is. Which one are we looking at? Are we looking at Ben? Or are we
This is
looking
Warlord.
at Warlord. Okay. As Ben has a. Oh dear, that's very easy to do there. I did that so many times coming out of Luffield. That's Luffield or Club. I wasn't sure which. I think it was Club actually. I've been a big fan of that livery. I mean, you can make an argument of it's a single colour with gold put over the top. So is there an argument for effort that's put into the livery? I love the look of it. I think it's just a tad short of an S tier. I'm going to definitely put that in the... good to see you, Treble. Good to see you. Why aren't you on track, sir? I'm going to say that is a solid A tier. It's brilliantly done. It has been one of my favourite liveries all season.
Yeah, I mean, it is indeed quite on the simple side, as we can see someone defying the laws of physics. Right?
That's a photo bomb if ever I've seen one. Andrew, is this you?
Hold on, I can actually... Yes, that is in fact Andrew blocking our very shot. Now, as I was trying to say about the car, not in the middle of the screen right now, but the one behind, is it is somewhat low effort, but you really can't go wrong with heavy black and gold. Definitely reminiscent of the Jump Player Special Lotus. Even that horrible Rich Energy Haas, which still looked pretty good. I want to give something S tier this season. I will be giving it to their car at the very least. So well done to them. It's a good color combination. My main room for improvement would be that they could have changed the color of the car and driver number on the side as well, because that white does clash a bit with the rest of the car.
Yeah, that is a fair point. Well made. Now this, if you want to talk about a livery that has had some effort put into it, the Martini Maserati. This is very, very well done. Interesting mixture of the Martini stripes and the Italian flag. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Another one that's dropped it at right at the pit lane entry. Nicely done. That's on the exit of Luffield. It's good. It is a very, very good livery. It doesn't kind of sell me as well as the JPS one. So, again, that's kind of low A to high B for me.
Well, see, the Italian, I mean, I'm a bit surprised by the color combination too, but I think it surprisingly works. And over here you can actually see on Gillish's car, it's the Dutch colors instead of the Italian ones.
See, that works a bit better because the Dutch colours are the same as the Martini colours.
Well, there's a bit of a difference in the shade of blue, so I kind of like the clash with the previous one a tad bit more, but I agree it's not quite what it takes to reach S tier. I think the big Maserati logo on the side helps a lot with all that blank space there. So I would give it a very, very high A tier, the second best livery, in my opinion, so far.
My good lady, now it just sounds like you're reciting the alphabet. Thanks, man. Oh, come on! I mean, one, what on earth is this version of physics that we're looking at? And two, why have you tried to shorten your car? Oh, God.
This is aerodynamics in action.
Who is it that's in the sandy coloured? It's Fennec, isn't it?
That would be Fennec, yeah.
Now, this I really do love. One that Dodge is a bit of a lesser. It's not too many of them in this. Fennec needs to give his router a bit of a kicking by the look of this. There we go. So now, one thing I do like about this team is the fact that they have gone for two different colours, not just a variation on, like the Maserati, the Martini Maseratis is a variation on the same thing, whereas the two Dodges have gone for the same design but two completely different colours. I am a big fan of the green. The cream does work very well. It's a bit difficult to judge by the fact that he's tried to kind of introduce it to the wall, but then that could be how it the thing is, that could be how it looks to us because he's lagging so hard. But this I really do like. This has had some thought and effort put into it, although Lego on the side I'm not, it's a bit of a question mark.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah, and Hot Wheels as well. Throwback to our childhood.
About the effort that you put in, about the effort that you mentioned there that was put into it, fair credit to Fennec as he continues to lag around the field, as he actually did change this car, he changed the color of the car from what it was originally. I mean, I'm still not the biggest fan of this color, but it's a vast improvement compared to what it was before, and I think overall I do like that they're slightly different as well between the two teammates. However, I think it could have used some scales, because it is, of course, based on that German crocodile that the kids like. So we've given some fairly high ratings so far. I'll have to give this one an upper B.
See, I'm a little bit more in favour of it. That does sneak into the A tier for me. As we now, again, a big fan of this car. This has taken some work. The grey Corvette, the Star Wars flavoured cars. This is really good. I really like this livery. You've got that kind of, the non-polished metal look in the Peaky Blunders that I also think is a brilliant name. So we are looking at, is that Jedlin that we're looking at?
This is Cuckoo.
Oh, it's Cuckoo. And why have I got this? I've written him down as white. That's why. Jedlin's car is white, if I remember. Now, the other one is the Aston Martin, isn't it? Yes. So this is Mammoth. That I remember thinking that is a cracking, there's a cracking livery on that. So,
where on earth is he going?
He's taking he's doing a completely different layout of Silverstone. He's in a hurry to start a practice lap, it would seem.
He might not make it at that rate.
Well, not by doing that, he won't. No, that's in the wall. Trouble is, the Lego is on there because it is a Rexy AO by TF inspired livery. So the sponsors are from that. Oh, okay. Is that also why the Hot Wheels are on there? But anyway, coming back to our original topic. As far as the Peaky Blunders pair, I'm actually going to put this in the S tier because I think that livery has taken some work and looks really, really good.
Yeah, it's definitely fairly high on the effort scaling. However, I mean, it is unique that it looks like it's already a bit beat up, but I don't really want my cars to look beat up before they've even started a race. So, yeah, I'm not quite gonna give it a super high rating. I'd say. Well, let me take another look at Mammoth's car. It's that looks like a bunch of bricks to me. So. I'll have to be a little harsh on this one and say lower A tier, just beneath Kaze's car.
Okay, that's fair enough. Although now, I'm not sure of your guidance there, Cuckoo.
We will be moving this into qualifying very soon because we have yapped a lot more about these than I thought we would originally. Quickly get the map back so I can see who is out on track.
Now this is Tom.
No, this is Jedlin.
Oh, that's Jedlin. Oh, so Tom is running the same livery as Jedlin is. Now this is okay. It's That's Tom. Yeah, I mean it looks good, but he's a bit plain.
It looks like a real livery.
Yeah, oh, absolutely it does. But it's not particularly inspiring. So I would put that in the B's. I would say. I think it would be lower B, maybe higher C. It doesn't kind of pop for me, that one.
Yeah, I actually quite like the color combination on it, and of course, similar to the Kaiser Match livery, it does look like it could actually be out there on track. But like just seeing this perspective from the rear, I do think they could have done a little bit more with it. So I'll have to give it the highest possible B rating for me.
Okie dokie. Who have we got still out there?
Just Trouble and a car that we've also already seen before. So who else have we not reviewed yet?
We haven't looked at the Falcon car. Is it just the one car we have in the Falcon colours? Yes, it is.
No, we have two normally. And Andrew says he's actually managed to. Andrew's managed to secure P8 again.
he has returned home. Again, as a reminder, folks, that is practice. Now we're in qualifying for 15 minutes. Beg your pardon. Yeah, Bulletsan and Xevious are running the Falcon colours, I think it is. No, Exus, excuse me, the Lamborghini and Corvette. Can we have a look at one of them? Has either one of them left yet?
Not quite.
There it is now. They call it the Ficken. That has taken some effort. And as VGG, I hadn't spotted you, sir. Oh, great to see you. Great to see you.
Welcome.
Another one of my another one of my Kodiakalites. Another one that I've subjected to various of my mad combinations. Who keeps coming back for more, along with Galax Star Fox. Here we go. So we've got that's Bullet Sand that we're looking at. See, this has taken some effort, I think. I do quite like that. Is it better than the... Well, there you go. You've got the JPS one right next to it. That has been one of my favourites. I would say that is a high B, low A, maybe. It's a great... they've done very, very well with it. They've recreated the Falcon colours very, very well. I mean, the Falcon livery is a bit strange in itself, that odd green and blue combination. But, that's where I would put it. High B, low A, I think, for them.
Yeah, it definitely pops quite well. It's more distinct than some of the other liveries we've seen. I'm not entirely sure which of the two cars it looks better on, though. I kind of want to see what you think about that Kodiak.
Good call. I think it fits the Lamborghini quite well. If we switch to Bullet Sand, I think it fits the Lambo a little bit better.
See, I would agree with that, but I think what it does with the rims here on this car is maybe a little bit more interesting than what the Lambo has to offer.
Galax Star Fox, how dare you? We need words. We need words. You make a good point there, actually. The wheels do accentuate the livery a bit. Go on.
I do have to make this somewhat controversial call because I am conflicted between the two cars, and I don't like being conflicted when I'm rating a livery. I will have to give this one the first C tier because we've put nothing in that tier yet, and we kind of have to spread the list out a bit. So I'm sorry, everyone, but we're moving on to the next car now. Okay,
who haven't we seen? The Ferrari-inspired Maserati. Now, Escher did this, who is with us. I'm really glad to see Escher following his injury at the beginning of the season. It's really good to see Escher with us. And he has actually copied the current Ferrari livery and transposed it onto the Maserati. It does fit really well, especially the white roof and the way that stripes onto the back of the car.
It fits better than the F1 car.
It probably does fit better than the F1 car. That I think, again, he's done a really good job there. He was quite understated in that. I said he did really, really well with it. And it being Ferrari and an Italian mark, although you can't park there, sir.
What in the world?
I
Did
suspect
he not just bounce into the air for you?
Yes, he did. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he did.
Oh yeah, stream's a bit delayed.
I would put that again, S tier or A tier, somewhere. I would highly rate this because the effort that he's put into actually transposing it onto the Maserati. I'm not sure it's quite S tier though, because there's not a lot of variation. It's red and white,
And black.
Oh, well, and black. Yes, agree. So I'm going to put that as I probably should spread them out a bit more than I had done, but I'm going to say A tier for Escher's work here.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I did mention earlier how we do sometimes have like some very opinionated takes that bring some liveries into the lower tiers. I have to admit, there's not really all that many liveries this season where I can really do that to, because I think quite a few of these have been made quite nicely this season. I'm just noticing that you can see the Italian flag just over the front wheels, which I think just knocks it into S tier for me. That's a nice little detail that I actually hadn't spotted before.
I'm watching for it now. Oh, there it is. Yes, I just saw it. Yeah, on the grills on the top of the. Yeah, I hadn't spotted that either. Yeah, I'd be. I would happily take that. Yeah, this game seems rather unfit for realistic simulations. Mario has physics. I say nothing.
It's not like a mushroom, but it's like the damage you get when you get hit by the blue shell. Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Now, we are almost done with this season's tier list, as we have 10 minutes left in quali. Now, Matt's currently on provisional pole, half a second ahead of anyone else. How many cars do we have left? I think it's just about one livery,
two.
right?
I think it's two. Trouble, and yes, we had to come to it eventually. Now, I think it was Andrew that said they didn't get a livery in time. So it ended up being this. Whilst it does stand out, it can't be anything other than a D. I'm sorry, Andrew. I said it. I've said it. I'm sorry. It's comical, don't get me wrong, but I can't. I just can't.
I believe it's the same on this car as well, but we can't currently see it out on track now.
I think both cars are identical livery, yeah.
Yeah, I would typically agree with your assessment. However, Kodiak, this has been a pet peeve of mine with Xevious' team throughout the years on MSR. Is that he almost always reworks the same livery onto his cars. And it's a decent livery, but I'm sick and tired of seeing it. So the fact that he's driving something else this season, I know it's D worthy, but I'm gonna give it a C because it is different.
Well, yeah, that is true. That is very true. I think it's just Troubles now that's different. There's the only one we haven't looked at.
No, Trouble is Fennec's teammate.
Oh, I've written Lotus down. It's because it's the green. It just reminds me of the Lotus green. Have we looked at everybody then?
I'll do a quick quali rundown here. We have Matt's in P1, same livery as Keza, just leaving the pits now. Baron's in the S tier livery in third place as things stand. Ricky in the Anime Aston currently fourth, followed by Warlord. Eddie, Xevious in the different livery for a change. JD just on back into the pits. Fennec, I think his car is actually somewhat realistic now.
The correct. We don't have the tower on the left, by the way. If we could have that, please.
Ah, yes, I forgot to turn those back on. Thank you.
Yep. Because I don't think it changes for you.
Yeah, I can always see the tower no matter what I do, so that's a perk of being the director. As the Ferrari, Maserati pulling over to the side of the track. Cuckoo, we've reviewed them. Condor currently in 12th, setting some lap times. Mammoth struggling down in 13th. Trouble, Exus, and Bulletsan all behind. Jedlin chilling in the pit lane with 7 minutes left to go. Gillis, I'm surprised to see him still in P18. And then we have Tom Goodwrench and Andrew to round out the top 20.
So yes, we have gone through the liveries. Glad to, thank you very much to those that kind of joined in with us on that occasion. My good lady, I love the fact I am very, very, very lucky in my partner, and I'm not going to turn this into a love stream because I could go on for absolutely decades about how much I feel for my good lady. But the fact I get to share my commentary with her, we're both motorsport fans, So that's a big plus for me. But she also used to do amateur racing in South Africa back in the day. It was dirt oval she used to do, and apparently her car was black and gold. So that is absolutely brilliant. But there we go, one of the JPS. So I love that livery. It still just does it for me.
I can definitely see why you've got a little bit of extra love for it, even, but it's most certainly deserving of that S tier rating. And I will say, I'm glad that we managed to rate most of the cars in practice, because just look at those conditions. There is not a whole lot of blue in the sky.
No, as is common for Silverstone, as is common for the UK. So let's have a quick rundown as you already have done, but we'll just, with 5 and a bit minutes of the qualifying to go, Mats and Kaiser in the Lemon Aston Martins at the top of the tree. Oh, I tell you what we haven't done. We haven't gone through the championship standings. Let me just turn the information back on. Kaiser having won last time out in Spa, being our 4th winner from all 4 rounds, leads the table on 119 points. Mats, his teammate, on 87. If it wasn't for Hockenheim, if it wasn't for that bad run he had at Hockenheim, he would be right up there. Well, he is up. He would be closer to Kaiser at the top of the tree. Ricky, the only person to get a fastest lap besides Matt, is in 3rd, just 1 point behind on 86. The top 3 all Aston Martins. Then it is Gillish, our round 1 winner, in 4th. He missed out on Hockenheim, so we didn't see him there. The Martini Maserati in 4th, and Eddie is in 5th.
Currently
position.
4th in qualifying as well, I might add.
Consistent. The Lemon Astons and the Falcon cars are my overall favourites. Fair shout there, Galax. Good to see. Can confirm Silverstone entries come with scuba gear. Thank you, BGG.
Well, so that's why they're racing one-handed half the time. It's because they're holding the scuba gear.
That's it, because they're holding the rudder of the car. Gillis has just been pushed down by Bern, actually. Bern's been going really well in this round.
And sorry, I just quickly want to mention the championship leaders team has been split with Ricky now in P2 as well.
Yes, so still Aston's at the top of the tree, but the anime Aston, who's now doing an alternate version of Silverstone, it's gone for a bit of a wander, so that's pushed Kaiser half a tenth, pushed him down into currently 3rd. There is Tom, who does not need to be starting for... Well, is he going to do a last to first, I wonder? One thing I will point out is before, all except for Spa, I didn't have time to do this for Spa or anything, but I have time trialed these cars at the tracks we've run. I couldn't do it for Spa, I didn't have time. I'm very happy to say I was not last in all rounds. This time I would have been last. Everyone has beaten me, which they should do. They absolutely should, because I run default liveries. What I will say is tyres could be an issue. Fuel shouldn't be, but we could see people changing tyres, because I had problems with the front left tyre particularly, but some have problems with the rears, mainly because they slide them around like an absolute lunatic.
Kids.
Yes, our big cheese. As we are watching,
I quickly want to touch on the fact as well. We've had commentators' curses so far in every round except race 2, where we wrote that that we commentators cursed the commentators' curses because we mentioned it and then we didn't get any. But in the first preseason round, we had 3 curses. In the second round, we had just 1. Then when you joined us, Kodiak, we ended up having 7 curses in the first race, none in the official second race. Then race 3, we had just 2 separate curses, although they affected 3 drivers. Last race, we had 3 separate curses. How many do you think we'll be getting tonight?
Oh, let's go for 5.
Ooh, feeling feisty. I wonder if that's going to cause a safety car or 2. As Tom Goodwrench has now set a lap, he is currently 18th place, just a couple milliseconds behind Exus.
1:47.3, very close times through the board, and it is a 1 3/4 minute. Oops, there goes Gillish. Up into second in the.
Keep it out of the wall.
He's done. He wouldn't have time to set another lap anyway. So Gillish then jumping up to second position. Great effort there. Cuckoo, where are you?
Welcome Binding in the chat, asking if Mia is dead yet. Currently in 7th place, just behind P8 Merchant Andrews. We still need 2 people to bump him down for this race. I'd say there's definitely some pace to be found, but even a fairly decent improvement will still keep Cuckoo in P7. That's a half a second gap to Andrew in 6th.
So we do have a bit of a split. Our top group are a little bit more spread out than the rest, but the thing is, with this layout of Silverstone, these cars find it very, very bumpy. So, and these cars do not like bumps. Whereas we're riding on the nose of the Corvette, I actually found the Aston was most uncomfortable through the bumps. Well, there you go. We're just trying to get through Luffield as the bumps really easily unsettle the car. As Kaiser has just jumped up into second, a 10th.5 behind his teammate. Very, very close to Cuckoo improve. He does not, but on another lap, then we can ride on board actually with the Corvette. Through Cops and over to the right-hand side to start the legendary Maggots and Beckett's. Very little changed over the years as Maggots and Beckett's. Ever decreasing down through the gears. You can't see it, but he will be in 3rd in this particular part. Got to get the exit of Beckett's right through Chapel. Oh, that's a little bit deep into the middle part of Beckett's there. Then all the way down Hanger Straight into Stowe. This part has barely changed over the years.
I'll tell you what has changed. That is provisional P1 Ricky. Just 63 milliseconds ahead of Matt.
Well played, Ricky. Excellent effort in the Anime Aston. So as we continue to ride on board with the Corvettes, now into Vale, through Vale into Club. Now the Club is a much, much longer corner than it is in modern day. You saw that he had to really crank on a lot of opposite. Beg your pardon. He had to put on a lot of opposite lock there to keep the tail under control. Now we are into Abbey. I am personally, this is the only bit of this version of Silverstone I don't like. I prefer the much more faster flowing left-hander, but there we are. It is what it is. Bridge and then into Priory. Oops, and that is off into the wall. So shame for Cuckoo, but pushed down to 8th. As was that Ricky's improvement there that pushed Cuckoo down. As we are looking at Tom, one of the last couple of cast. Finally cursed her. Yeah, yeah. I will take that one. Riding through Abbey once again.
Second time's a charm.
Through Bridge, and then. Now, interesting, Tom does not go all the way over to the right-hand side to open up the way through Priory. Now Brooklands and into Luffield. This is broadly the same as it is in modern day. But Luffield is, again, it can be a little bit unsettling. Into the pit lane entry then for Tom.
It is a shorter route to the finish line, I'll say that.
VGGT, I love how accurate Bridge is. He's driven over and walked under that old truck a fair few times. Yes, indeed. So it's Ricky at the top of the tree with Matt alongside him. Aston Martin 1-2. Then it is Kaiser and Gillish on row 2. Bernd and Andrew have row 3. Andrew not in his customary 8th position. So there we go. Aston 1, 2 and 3, as you can see from this shot. And Xevious and Cuckoo have row 4 to themselves in the Dodge and the Corvette respectively. Warlord and Eddie have got row 5 in the JPS Maserati and the Martini Maserati. JD, we didn't see JD much during qualifying in the Anime Aston, alongside Fennec in the cream coloured Dodge. And then it's the second of our Star Wars cars, the Aston Martin of Mammoth. And then Escher in his first race of the season following his injury at the beginning of the season is going to start from the outside of row 7. Condor in the Ferrari flavoured Maserati is alongside Treble in the green coloured Dodge. That is row 8. Row 9 is Exus in our Soul Lamborghini alongside Jedlin in his white Corvette. Tom Goodwrench joins us on the inside of row 10 alongside Bulletsan in the Falcon flavoured Corvette.
Oh, also, we just might want to take the standings off the screen as well.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Good catch there. Binding, thank you very much. Actually, no, that was Galax.
Galax, yeah, beg your pardon. God, please let Andrew eat beep on the start. So, binding. Right. So then, for those that may not be familiar with the format of tonight's race, it is not go on the green light. We will have one rolling. It's a rolling start. They have a complete lap to do, and if things do go wrong, a manual safety car is called. So it is reduced down to safety car speeds whilst the incident is cleared. We will deal with that as and when we have to. That is why no one has moved. So it is a slow rolling lap. They will form up. It is, I think, it's in between Priory and Brooklands. They form the 2x2 line, and then the acceleration zone is just before the fastest board, as we'll get then 33 racing laps underway.
Now, I do quickly want to double check, Kodiak, if you took the very bottom of your current screen into account when you were deciding on the tier for this livery.
I have a funny feeling we did spot that. I didn't take that into consideration. I do remember that being spotted before. We can't see on the Lamborghini, but we can on the Corvette. But thank you for that, Beletta. That was very kind of you. I do remember that being pointed out before. So much appreciated there. You can kind of see it from the onboard shot. Just see the posh sponsorship. Yeah. Yeah, that is cool.
So what's your favorite part of this layout, would you say?
Of this layout of Silverstone? Oh, tricky one. I actually quite like the slower part towards the end, so kind of sector 3 essentially. After Abbey, the only bit I don't like is Abbey Curve. The way that in this version of it, I much prefer, you can see the grey line that has the faster sweeping element through Abbey, which is what we're more familiar with in modern day. I prefer that, but the rest of it, Farm, Bridge, Priory, Brooklands, Luffield, Woodcote, I really love that flow. I do like Maccas and Beckett's, I'm just not very good at it. I'm very good at lawn mowing through there.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when a controller, those corners are no easy feat as well. A very understeery bit of track, and I honestly don't really get why they have this extra 90-degree bit in there, because I feel like going into this next section at higher speed would make things pretty interesting as well. Because as it is, I mean, I know you can still spin out here. We've seen some people do it, but to me, this part of the track kind of feels like a bit of a break from all of the high to medium speed corners they've just come out of.
Yeah, very true. So then, Ricky in the Anime Aston leads the field through the penultimate corner, which is Luffield. We should be formed. I thought we would have formed by now. Oh, well, there we go. We have formed. Oh, me, a little fate. So then, Ricky will floor it when we're in the acceleration zone, which starts just after the curve. So we're in the acceleration zone. When Ricky floors it, we are racing here in Silverstone. Wait for it. Away we go. Oh, now looked like Gillish had a good start there, but nowhere to go. He could not split the Lemon Aston Martins around the outside line of Cops. Brave at the best of times. But that's allowed Matt to get a bit of a car length or two over his teammate. It looks like everybody has survived the first few turns. Into Maccas and Beckett's for the first time. And oh no, I spoke too soon. Commentator curse on me. Xevious is round. Trouble is in trouble. We had to say it at some point. So oh dear. So two of our Dodges have fallen foul, but Ricky leads the way.
So I'm writing down the curse. Is that for both Trouble and Xevious, or just Xevious?
Well, Xevious was the one that was the real victim of the commentator's curse. So I would write down for Xevious. I'm not sure how Trouble got caught up in that.
All right, so top 3 remain as is for now. Gillish still close behind. Andrew up to P5. Now, good start for him. Unfortunate 2 casualties at the back. I don't think Eddie started this far back either, so that might have actually been an incident involving 3 cars, though no safety car has been called.
No, indeed. So Eddie in the Maserati, Martini Maserati, trying to get back up underway, but right up front, the Aston Brigade continues. Ricky from Matt from Kaiser, your top three.
Yeah, they're starting to pull away from Gillish already. It's only been one lap, but that gap now up to a full second. If the timings are to be believed, at least.
That's always the question mark. Gillish doing a great job, our round one winner.
Further back, Eddie's lost another position. Xevious making up some ground after his spin.
Doesn't look like there's any damage, so no one has hit the wall. Now, the walls are quite a distance away from the track at Silverstone, so you do have the opportunity to make a mistake and not completely die as a result, as we did. Now, I will point out, dynamic object collision is disabled for this, hence why the drivers are able to go through those bollards. But coming back up front, riding on board with Kaiser, our championship leader, we're watching his teammate Matt really hustling Ricky. So these top two are the only two to have to score the fastest lap between them. Matt looking on the outside line, coming down towards Stowe. Brave at the best of times. Is he going to try and cut back underneath the Anime Aston? Not quite. He remains where he is. So Ricky and Matt dueling it for the top spot, but Ricky is under all kinds of pressure.
Yeah, I mean, when I was looking at the deltas, I was thinking that Kaiser might have just made a mistake, but no, Matt's just opened up that gap behind him by getting so close to Ricky up in front. So Ricky under a lot of pressure. We've seen both of these drivers make mistakes before, and I'm sure that wouldn't make Kaiser feel all too sad if that happened again, as we saw last week.
Matt's having a think about it on the inside line coming up towards Abbey. It's a big braking zone there, but does not commit to it. Gillish and Andrew locked together as well in a battle for fourth position in the Maserati and Dodge respectively. Here's Bent in the lead JPS Maserati right behind Cuckoo. So the Corvette doing her best job of holding on to that sixth position. There's JD, who we did see have a bit of trouble in the Anime Aston earlier in the session. There's Escher just going through the shot. He's made a couple of positions. Jedlin in the white Corvette, still nailed to the back of Condor. So
yeah, Condor ahead went a little bit wide there. I think might have lost a position in the process.
VGG, you are too quick for the Lambo. I'm telling you that right now, having raced against you in it. As Jedlin gets the inside line coming up the cops. The Corvette tries to draw alongside the Ferrari Flavor Maserati. Can't get the overdrive just yet. Right behind Xevious in the question mark Dodge. They're going to be side by side in Meggins and Beckett's. Brave at the best of times. There's two side by sides going on. Oh, the Maserati and the Corvette doing a brilliant job. The track is certainly wide enough. But can they hold on? They're still side by side as they come through Chapel. The Maserati's one out. Here comes Xevious then in the Dodge. The Corvette's been wrong-footed 3 wide as we go down towards the... What a move by Xevious! That's a fantastic exit from Chapel. Gets both positions. Oh my God! Hello, Eddie. Join the conversation very suddenly. Good Lord.
Yeah, surprise appearance by Eddie here in this 5-car fight. It's absolutely insane action going on at the back of the grid. I think someone just ahead going a little bit deep into that corner. That was Jedlin. Could that have made his tires a bit dirty? That could mean that Condor can put some extra pressure on him just ahead. Another overtake as well, although I'm not quite sure if we're going to see what happened there. I don't think we will, but just up ahead in the lead, Matt's practically pushing Ricky through the corners.
Yeah, so Ricky doesn't seem to be able to break away from the Lemon Astons, which is nothing to be afraid of, but the 3 Astons up front are breaking away from Andrew, who has gotten ahead of Gillish whilst we've been looking away. So Andrew now up into 4th position from the Martini Maserati. Cuckoo right behind. Now the 2 JPS Maseratis glued together, Burn ahead of Warlord. Now are they going to swap around? Yes, that looked like an orchestrated move there. Burn getting out of the way for his teammate, just manages to get back at Mammoth, riding on board with the cream Dodge of Fennec. So, brilliant battle here for 7th place. Well, Cuckoo is slightly ahead, so she's got a little bit of breathing space, but the rest are locked in this fantastic battle for 6th.
Yeah, it's battles up and down the grid at this stage of the race as the 2 top drivers here separated by less than 0.2 of a second. Mats could go for a dive bomb, but we know he's not the type to risk it like that, especially this early in the race.
Yeah, very, very true. I'd see comments. Thank you, VGG, for referencing my video series there. I can't. I think 20 or 21 was when you were in the Lamborghini and I was in the Murcielago, I think it was. Oh, where's Kayser gone? Kayser's in trouble. Oh, he's on the infield. Is he going to lose a position to Andrew? Yes, he does. So the Dodge manages to sweep around. We didn't quite see how that came about, but he made a mistake somewhere around Luffield, and that has dropped there. No, beg your pardon, that was Club. But Kayser's made the mistake. A rare error from the Lemon Aston Martin.
Yeah, it's cost him about 4 to 5 seconds, so I'm going to have to guess that he had a bit of a half spin somewhere by losing the rear end. Mammoth has made up quite a bit of ground up into P8 behind Warlord as well. Further behind, more overtakes going on. I think Eddie side by side with X is now 417th. Takes him around the outside.
Oh,
and who was that off track?
That's Sevius. Sevius has gone off. Oh dear, The question mark Dodge is off into the dust, but not into the wall. It looks like Matt is still pushing Ricky for that top spot. It's Ricky's not able to, well, literally pushing into Mackers and Beckett's is only ever going to go wrong. But yeah, quite clearly Matt had to back out of that to avoid incident, but Ricky under all kinds of pressure.
Yeah, and again, if any one of these two makes even a slight mistake, the chasing pack is only 4 seconds behind them. We're on lap 6 currently, the 5th racing lap. And yeah, I mean, if you need to get a good picture of the back of this car to buy some spare parts, Matt is the guy to call.
Very, very, very true. He's got that the rear of that Aston ingrained in his mind. Is he having a look on the inside, coming down to Club? No, he stays where he is for now. Now, the more they fight, the more that's going to invite Andrew Attal to close in on them. Kayser has not gotten back past Andrew just yet. He's managed to keep Gillish at bay for the time being. But goodness me, how is Ricky just soaking this pressure up? This is fantastic.
It absolutely is, and I have to wonder how much fuel saving will be going on in this race as well, because it definitely doesn't look like Matt is saving all that much fuel. I think he is pushing.
It was now the reasoning. There was discussion about the fuel. They're using about 6.5, 7 litres or so by my estimate. So fuel wasn't likely to be the issue. Tyres was going to be the bigger issue. In this one. Oh, good to see you, Toyota. I still struggle with your name, so what have you missed? You've missed a few thrills and spills, one of them being Kayser, who's dropped out of the top 3. But ultimately, you've got a lot of racing still ahead. Sun is it, rooting for the Peaky Blunders. Good stuff. Good to see that. Really glad to see a lot of audience participation. Very much loving that. At the moment, Ricky and Matt have got the top 2 spots. Kayser right behind Andrew Fennick alongside Band. Can the Cream Dodge get past the JPS Flavor Maserati? Not quite as it comes through Maggots. Into Beckett, still side by side, not quite. The Maserati holds on to 9th position. Fennick gave it his all. Can't quite run for Band. Is he going to get a good exit from Chapel? Yes, he does. Gets the overspeed, forcing the outside line on the way down towards Stowe. Can Fennick get it done? He's nosed ahead. But into the braking zone. The Maserati still on the inside line. Brilliant racing room given. That's going to give Fennick the inside line coming down towards Club. That's job done. That's 9th to Fennick.
Oh, I bet you he feels very satisfied after that one. Fennick up into 9th place as the pressure for first still continues to be piled on. And Kayser has actually managed to overtake Andrew. So we unfortunately didn't quite catch that, but it looks like Andrew's not giving up.
No, indeed. So the Lemon Astons reunited 2nd and 3rd. Oops, albeit not on track, but certainly on the tower. And immediately Andrew has a look at coming through bridge. He's going to get the overrun. Is he coming down into Priory? Racing room given there from Kayser. Andrew's still there. Oh, that's too deep for Kayser. That's going to potentially surrender the position. Yes, a little bit too deep, but too much racing room given from Ultimate Kayser. Andrew back up into 3rd. Gillish is right there to try and push his way through.
See, I will say, I think Gillish is going to be fairly frustrated by this because he keeps seeing mistakes by drivers out in front. Overtakes are happening, and he's just there looking at it. He can't quite get any moves done yet, which I'm sure he would absolutely love at this stage, because I think if he doesn't, these guys will end up pulling away at some point.
Andrew having to play the defensive game here. Now, still a long way to go, though. and we will have pit stops included in the race somewhere, or potentially at least. Yeah, this racing is better. Oh no, I did enjoy China. I seem to be one of the few that does seem to be enjoying modern day F1. But I'm not going to fault you. This is still better than what happened over the weekend, VGG.
It's definitely better than whatever's happening to Fernando Alonso this season, I can tell you that.
Ain't that the truth? Oh, that's deep for Kaiser. That's even deeper for Andrew. Are we going to have a side-by-side again between these two? Not quite, but Kaiser now cuts to the inside line, coming down towards Club. Can the Aston draw alongside the Dodge? They do. Racing room given. The Dodge is going to have the inside line. Kaiser can't do it. Here comes Gillish. Can he get the speed he needs coming through Club? It's very bumpy on the outside of Club. Can't do it. The Maserati remains where he is. That's inviting Kako. Can she close in that gap? She's got Warlord right on her tail, but a fair amount of gap to close into the Maserati ahead of her. Let's see if she's able to close that in. These three still glued together.
I love how I can still see Keza twitching out of the corners as well, trying to get every bit of that rotation in there with a car right behind and ahead of him. So not exactly clean air situations. The car is heavily fueled up at this point as well, although I'm sure they'll be pitting at some stage in this race. Not quite a zero stop, even if it's not necessarily as fuel worrisome around here. Further back, you have Bullet Sand chasing JD for 11th position. Some fighting going on just behind as well. That's Tom Goodwrench going for a move, but he's hit.
Oh! He bounced off the side of Condor there, unfortunately. The white Dodge, white Corvette bouncing off the side of the Ferrari flavoured Maserati. And that's going to be well, he's gained a couple of positions, but he is going to give those back.
He's coming into the pits.
Well, he did take a fair old crack on the nose there. So Tom in the pits then. Hopefully he is able to
suppose there's no better place to crash.
Well, granted. Up front, Matt still right behind Ricky.
Oh, he's retired from the race, Tom Goodwrench.
No, that's a shame. Good Tom is a reserve in this league, but he's decided to park. That's a shame because he could really have pushed on, but has decided to park the Corvette for now.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and add Tom to the curse list. That's number 2 tonight. 3 to go.
And Matt's then. Now, is Matt biding his time, or is he pushing as hard as he possibly can? We've seen Matt close in to the tail of the Anime Aston a few times, but not able to do anything about it just yet. Oh, he's keeping himself very big in the mirrors of the Anime Aston, is Matt, so he's keeping the pressure on. Oh, yeah, you see the tail getting very lively for Ricky, so he's also running very, very low downforce, which I think is absolutely mental, these drivers, but they know how to pedal these cars. I found the Aston very twitchy at the best of times, so it's even more amazing they're running so little wing and keeping these cars under control. Riding on board with Gillis as he watches the battle for third.
Ooh, hold on, they got very, very close in turn 1 there.
Coming through Cops, that's no change in position. I think that's... Matt looks like he has the pace, but Ricky is doing a brilliant defensive job and hanging on to the lead. Kaiser is trying his best to get past Andrew, but Andrew is positioning that Dodge perfectly well. Ironically, the Dodge is one of the smallest of these GT1 cars. Oh, goodness me, Gillish. That's not normally where you make a move, is coming through Chapel. But I think bowed out of that just at the right time on the exit of Beckett. Keep an eye as well. Cuckoo right behind. She's closing that gap down, I think. Only 2.5 seconds or so.
That almost kind of felt like Gillis was trying to spook Keza into giving him some space in an unorthodox part of the track, but it didn't quite work out, though they at least stayed out of each other, so the fight will continue on. We're about to reach a third of this race completed, and we have fights going on for the lead for the top 5. It's action still going on up and down the field. I think for P16 you got Escher fighting Xevious, well, Xevious making up lost ground. Eddie surprisingly still in 15th. He has pretty good pace, but despite all the overtakes, still stuck behind Condor for now. Jedlin coming back onto the track from an unseen incident.
Yeah, so was that a bit of a tangle there with JD ahead of him? We don't know, we didn't see. But still, the Corvette seems to be proving a bit troublesome for some drivers. But the Astons are still ruining the roost. Ricky still keeping Matt. So Ben, look at that again. Ricky perfectly positioning his car to just disrupt that momentum. You heard Matt get out of the throttle. Here he goes. He's going to make the move on the way up to Maggots. But can he get it done? No, he backs out of it. He didn't get the overlap enough to challenge for the position. Whoa, flirts with the grass on the inside line of Maggots. Well, the exit of Maggots. You can do it. There is a bit of AstroTurf there, so it doesn't agitate the car that much. But look at that. That disruption in his momentum has pushed him too far back along the hangar straight. You ain't going to banzai the inside that far, from that far back into Stowe.
I think Mats is going to be a little bit frustrated with how thin this track is in some parts, because there in turn one you can see Ricky going very, very defensive, kind of compromised his exit, but there's just no space for Mats to do any sort of cutback and get alongside enough to really get a side-by-side move going into Maggots and Beckett. We've seen, I think, Fennec go side-by-side there earlier, but you're going to have to be a lot faster if you want to do that with the likes of Ricky.
Yeah, fair point, well made. And still, they are growing that gap between themselves and that trio of Andrew, Kaiser and Gillish. Although part of the reason they are growing that gap is because these three are glued together. Gillish is somewhat of a spectator to the battle going on ahead of him. He's not quite... Well, we haven't seen him get involved. But... Oh, that's deep for Kaiser. Just as I say that, Gillish is going to get involved here. Has a look on the inside line coming into Brooklands. It's going to force him to the outside of left field. That's never where you want to be. So Kaiser was just kind of recovering it. Gillish didn't have anywhere to use that extra momentum. It's Dodge versus Aston versus Maserati for that group of three. And still, Matt could well be biding his time here. I think it's actually more than Ricky's doing a brilliant defensive job.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen quite a bit of moving around from Mats, letting Ricky know his presence, but to me it kind of feels like, oh, hold on, there's some action going on in the midfield bullets, and the first to pit for what I assume is strategy. In
comes the Falcon-coloured Corvette, and indeed for what is assumed to be a scheduled pit stop. A little bit early. We are still several laps from the halfway stage. Oh, and that's a move from Kaiser and Andrew. Can he get it done? That is on the inside line of Stowe. Oh, and a tap on the nose to the Dodge. Good move there from Kaiser. Slipstream down the hangar straight. Now, Andrew was able to hang on to the back of Kaiser last time. Also bear in mind that Kaiser has not finished off the podium all season. And that puts him back into podium contention for the time being. Now, I think that was our lead too that we just saw at the top of the shot there. They're not catching back markers, and nowhere near catching back markers just yet. So Andrew is doing a brilliant job of holding onto the back of Kaiser. Oh,
Kaiser
wow!
Very slow.
Kaiser was a bit cautious coming through bridge, but that caught Andrew out. I don't think he was expecting that kind of closing speed. So he didn't banzai the inside of Priory there. Gillish has fallen a little bit off the back, as you just see at the back of the shot.
It does make you wonder if that was a bit of a strategic slowdown from Kaiser, because it's not exactly easy to overtake in that corner, even if you are slow on the racing line. But you mentioned Kaiser overtaking Andrew there on the hangar straight in the slipstream. I guess he just didn't feel like hanging around in P4.
Gone! Oh, Andrew just lost the tail, braked a little bit too late coming into Cops. Oh, that you never want to see it. I imagine there's a fair amount of unbroadcastable words going on in that cockpit now. And the amount of time and positions he's lost as a result of that tiny, tiny mistake, just pushing a tiny bit too hard in the slipstream of Kaiser. Probably just came into Cops too hard, not realising the closing speed. And down into 10th. Still some way to go, but you never want to see it.
You know, I'm starting to think, well, for one, I'm not entirely sure if Andrew still has the stream open during the race with commentary audible, but perhaps he just heard me speaking out that pun, and at that very moment he thought it was so cringe that he decided to throw away his potential podium at Silverstone tonight. I was trying to say that Kaiser overtaking on the hangar straight meant that I didn't feel like hanging around in P4, and then disaster strikes for Andrews. That's very, very unfortunate, but he is a lot closer now to finishing P8 than he was before, so he might well finish in his trusted position once more.
I admire your optimism. Find the good elements. Yeah, why not? Oh, great three-way battle behind Andrew, actually. JD, I think it's JD, Jedlin, Eddie's in there. Condor's not far off it either. So that's a battle for 11th that we can keep an eye on.
1 second, they're really, really close again in this part of the track. Matt's always just with a tremendous exit out of that final corner, but there's nowhere to overtake in this part.
That's not 1 second. Matt, yeah, so Ricky is just showing an absolute defensive masterclass here. I'm sure he would prefer to be able to break away from Matt. Oh, hello. Gillish is now taken up the pressure off the back of Kaiser then. The Maserati getting right under the rear wing of the Aston Martin.
Oh, I think Fennec might have just made a move on Mammoth. Came swooping in around the outside.
No, he hasn't been through the pit lane. Yeah, that looked like an odd line there. But either way, the cream-coloured Dodge ahead of the Star Wars Aston Martin. Mammoth pushed down into 8th. Here's Eddie on the back of Jedlin. So this is the battle for 11th position I was referring to earlier. JD currently leads it in the Anime Aston. Jedlin in the white. Corvette ahead of us. We ride on board with Eddie, the Maserati, Martini-coloured Maserati. Not far behind, about 1.5 seconds or so, is Condor. Oh, that's a big move into Stowe. Can he get it slowed down? That should, yeah, that looks like his job done. I think Jedlin didn't fight that one too hard. But Eddie up to 12th.
Eddie summoning his Italian Antonelli powers to get a move done. Up into P12.
That he does.
A little further back, we still have Escher challenging trouble for P16. I'm sure it's where neither of them would want to be at this point, but Escher still doing well, not in last place on his return in trouble there off the track. That's definitely not where he wants to be.
No, certainly not. The tail letting go of the Dodge at the worst time. There's never a good time for a tail to let go. And there is Exis in the Lamborghini behind.
Should I count that as a curse? Because I said trouble not where he would want to be, and then he's promptly off the track as well.
I would say so. I would count that as a curse.
There we go. That is number 3 tonight. All right, back to the leaders, still separated by just 2/10 pretty much, as they have been for the entire race. Kind of hogging up the screen time, guys. Come on.
Yeah, they are very much getting their money's worth from the broadcasting time. And look at that, even in the slipstream, Mats doesn't seem to be closing in now. Is he playing with his food, or is he pushing as hard as he can? Yeah, difficult to say. Only really Mats knows that. But Ricky's certainly doing everything he possibly can to keep Mats behind him. Also bearing in mind, like, I said tyres were going to be an issue here, and the reason I say that is I noticed noticeable wear on the particular front left tyre on the laps I did. Now those that are running a very low downforce are going to struggle with the rears as well. There's a lot of traction zones here, so tyres are going to become a bit of an issue. As Eddie has a look on the inside of Jetling coming into Stowe, can't get it done, remains in 13th. Right behind him, Condor and Xevious have very much joined this battle for what is now 12th.
Oh, it's turning into a multi-car fight, and that's contact. Is he going to be able to save it? I think he has, so well done to Xevious there, and a bit of a nasty tap in the front, but keeps it on track.
Yeah, that was very well. Oh, that, however, is not so well held, as Eddie has done a full 360 there. Doesn't look like he hit anybody, but yeah, the tail of the Maserati letting go there, and he's going to become very popular very quickly with that group, with Escher is leading. Escher, Trouble and Exus in the group for 16th.
I mean, I did say Eddie was summoning his Antonelli powers, and Antonelli also went off track in China, so that checks, I suppose.
Well, we're still not even halfway through the race yet. Which yeah. Oh, that's trouble. Just the rear.
Oh, and look at the Lamborghini sliding through as well. He's actually gaining time doing that.
Yeah, he's going to be on the outside of Luffield, though. Well driven from both of them. Is Trouble going to run Exus onto the dust? No, not quite. Racing room given. He'll have the inside line coming through. Oh, that is close. Still side by side as the Lamborghini can't do anything about it as they start on the lap. So well driven from both of them. And so Ash is still right.
But is it over? They're side by side again coming into Maggots and Beckett's.
A bit of a slow exit from Cops then for trouble and through. Kind of getting the elbows out. Access in the Falcon Lamborghini up to 17th.
Trouble being a fair driver, leaving quite a bit of room, but you still have to be brave enough to go for it. So Exis ends up actually getting that position. I was a bit bummed. I thought he would go for that into turn 1 because that was a tremendous exit out of the final corner with a drift into the penultimate one. You don't see that every day in that snail-shaped corner. So even for P16, you're seeing some very high-class racecraft going on as the top two continue to, well, I'd say hog screen time, but the gap is now about half a second, so they're not pushing each other quite as much as before. Now, even if Mats isn't pushing for an overtake here, which I kind of feel like he is, he's at the very least, by staying this close behind Ricky, he is trying to push for a mistake.
I think that's what Mats is trying to do. Interesting, we have a yellow flag in a sector with no cars in it. But yeah, I think that's what Mats is doing. I think he's having a lot of fun with Ricky out there. I'm not sure Ricky's enjoying it as much as Mats is, but yeah, I definitely get the feeling that Mats could maybe overtake, but Ricky is making him very much work for it. Question in chat was Bullet Sand in the pits? Yes, Bullet Sand pitted early, so that is why he is some distance off the back of the field. Kaiser is behind Gillish. So
yeah,
we didn't see that move happen. Has Kaiser made another mistake, or has Gillish managed to make the move stick?
Yeah, I didn't see that coming either. I was keeping an eye on that gap, and I think it must have been a sudden mistake from Kaiser around the Maggots and Beckett section. So a surprising overtake there by Gillish, but I have to hand it to him. I did not expect him to still be this close to any of the Astons at this stage in the race. So hats off to him for not giving up, as Eddie is now giving up on his original tires, I assume.
Indeed, now we are at the halfway stage. So where does the okay, so the fuel filler once again picking an imaginary fueling point. Yeah, why I can't remember who it was that said wireless refueling. I'd still love that comment, whoever it was that said that. As we look at Warlord on the back of Cuckoo. So yeah, Cuckoo now with some pressure from Warlord. The two are locked in battle for 5th position. Corvette versus Maserati.
Yeah, we have not seen too much screen time yet from one of the few S-tier liveried cars in the league, as that's, okay, change of lead, but it's because Ricky's pitting.
Now, so Ricky has decided to, on the exact halfway mark, is the overcut or undercut going to be more successful here? Kaiser also follows the Anime Aston in, along with Cuckoo and Warlord.
Yeah, I think a lot of people starting to starve for fuel a bit. We have seen a lot of people doing fuel saving before because these tanks just can't quite hold what they would like them to hold. So I think a lot of people coming in as soon as they pretty much can to be able to make it to the end of the race on one tank. Well, on one stop. It's 2 tanks, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So a good half the field are coming in or have been in. So that's Trouble, as well as Condor, Escher and Exis all in the pits as well. And
Trouble's been overtaken by Escher, actually. We missed that.
Yeah, very true. So Trouble is now down to 17th place. So as only the top 5 not in, the bottom 2 have already been in. So yeah, 3/4 of the field have gone through the pits then. Bullet Sound riding on board with, or briefly, the Falcon coloured Corvette, now with Eddie.
Ooh.
Oh,
that's P4 going off. That's Mammoth.
Yeah, I was going to say there was an Aston Martin there.
Mammoth looking for some greener pastures, as it's going to be painful for Eddie to be in last place, albeit after a pit stop, because this is one of our 4 race winners this season.
Is he? Yes, he is. He won at Hockenheim, didn't he? Yeah, that's right. No, I do beg your pardon. So yeah.
Absolute Eddie Doubt slander from Kodiak.
No, forgetfulness, not slander. So Matt is in, so it was just a single lap extra. Let's see whose strategy is going to win out this time. Gillish is in. I would think Fennec and Mammoth are welcome in as well. There goes Fennec. Mammoth, yeah, in he comes as well. So that just leaves Xevious then to bring the question mark Dodge into the pit lane. And that will be everybody having seen the pit lane at least once.
I will say this car is looking in mighty fine condition for having been off track at least twice so far this race, so hats off to Xevious for keeping it running. Meanwhile, Ricky, our net race leader, where will Mats come out compared to him?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? Is starving the fuel tank one extra lap the way to go? Now, he would have potentially saved the fuel behind Ricky. Could be why Mats was loitering behind the enemy Aston for so long. Questions will be answered very soon as Ricky now coming through Luffield. Just flirts with the grass, and Mammoth hasn't moved, but Mats has.
I clicked on Mats and it jumped right as Mammoth was there.
That's got to be close, but I think Mats is going to have
jumped
that.
him.
Yeah, he has.
Right, a long shot. He's barely a speck on the horizon now for Ricky.
So that one extra lap overcut has worked brilliantly well for Mats. I think that is down to the fuel he was able to save whilst being behind Ricky. Now, will he be able to run off into the distance, or will Ricky be able to close him down? Time will have to tell. But Gillish, bearing in mind he was right behind Mats, is now 9 seconds behind the leader.
And look at the best lap times as well. It seems like Mats in race trim may well have a slight edge on Ricky. We'll have to wait and see if that had anything to do with slipstream, as he's been behind Ricky all race. But Mats looking quite good on strategy.
Actually, Kaiser had the fastest lap of our top group. So if it wasn't for the issues that he's had, he could well have been leading the way. But as we know, he has had a couple of spins. Pressing on though, never giving up until that checker flag falls. In there is Gillish right ahead of him. One non-Aston in the top 4. They just saw Cuckoo in the back of the shot, so she's still pressing on.
Troubles managed to get by Escher again, currently in 17th, just behind Exus.
Indeed, these three still locked together, so there's a battle for 16th position. Eddie, sadly, with the spin he had earlier on, has dropped him into the wooden spoon position. He's not that far behind this group, in fairness. We might see him in this shot. There he is. So Eddie can still close in on this group. But it's great to see that we've still got over half of the race done. We still have several groups really fighting for position. Andrew fending off the advances of Ben in 10th place, trying to close in on Mammoth for 9th.
Must be said as well, still no safety cars in this race. A safety car gets called if there's an incident with 3 or more vehicles involved, and I'd say people have been keeping it quite clean tonight.
Now, we did have an incident with potentially 3 cars involved in it, but not all 3 cars, not all of them took time to recover from their incident. So it was decided that safety car was not to be called in the beginning part of the race. That's Cato in the back of Gillish. So this is for the last of the podium spots. The Lemon Aston banzais the inside of Stowe, and that puts Cato back up into 3rd place. Will he maintain his 100% podium record, or will Gillish have something to say?
He's definitely fighting for it, and I must say as well, I was not expecting an overtake there. I know we were not on an onboard camera, but that must have been a mighty fine speed differential to just send it that deep into the corner and completely clear Gillish. So a lot of work for Gillish to try and claw that position back, but he's done it once before, he can do it again. Meanwhile, the top 2 being separated by more and more. That gap has doubled since the pit stop.
Yeah, Mats is either Ricky's made a mistake somewhere or Mats is checking out, or a combination of both colours perhaps. But yeah, Mats is really flooring it now. Well, when he crosses the line, it'd be interesting to see if his fastest lap is in print, although may not do because his car's going to be very heavy. At this point, Fennick and Bulletsand close together. Bearing in mind, Bulletsand was the first car to pit in this race. Now the Falcon coloured Corvette is challenging for 7th position. Now, will that early pit stop really undo his race strategy as the two come together? As they come through Luffield, just disrupted the momentum for Bulletsand, pushes him down and back down into 8th.
Yeah, not a great drive out of the final corner, but definitely fighting for some very respectable positions as Bullets End, with Mammoth currently not that far behind, being chased down by Andrew, still trying to recover from that probably pun-induced spin. Currently in 10th, only 3 seconds behind P8.
And still pressing on. We're right on board with Xevious then, on the back of JD.
Oh, that's early.
Yeah, he did bow out of that, but if he tried to draw alongside, he'd have still been alongside coming through Cop. So yeah, I think he bowed out of that quite rightly.
Now, tinfoil hat time. Was that super clipping an MSR?
Take that tinfoil hat off.
Yeah, you can see Xevious trying all sorts of different lines here to try and get an edge on JD. The gap between the top two continues to climb. It's now 6.3. Is something wrong with Ricky's car? Has he maybe kept his original tires and has Matt changed his? We'll have to wait and see, although it's quite unlikely now. Xevious going down the inside.
Oh, side by side for the Dodge and the Aston. There's still going to be side. Oh, just a touch of the grass there from JD. That's a shame because he could have challenged all the way down into club, but that tiny mistake has forced the... Oh, that's the Lamborghini rounds. Exus has made a mistake on the exit of Stowe. Very easy to run wide there. There's all grass. There's no runoff area in this version of Stowe. So that puts Exus down into the wooden spoon spot.
Now, I will say about Ricky, the car is obviously not damaged, but the way he's consistently losing time to Matt's would make me think that he's on older tires and Matt's isn't. But then again, his pit stop would have been much faster if that was the case, so I'm very confused as to what's going on here. And at this rate, I think Keza might actually end up catching him for second place. The last lap there by Keza was 0.3 faster. If he keeps that up for the rest of the race, I think he might end up catching him.
Cool. Now, Matt's clear of challenge has gotten into the 44s in his best lap. Absolutely stunning effort there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's not entirely a surprise, though. We know just how blindingly quick he is. No disrespect to Ricky. He did a fantastic job holding on to first, but it did seem to be the way that he was holding Matt was biding his time as Eddie is in the pits again.
Yeah, I was about to say Eddie was actually still in a net last place because he has a 10-second penalty, but coming into the pits for an unknown reason, quite surprised, and this car is off the track. This is a different layout.
Oh, that's Mammoth doing something rather odd. We don't know what's happened there. He's probably giving positions back, I imagine. That's why he's pulling over. So he's had an issue somewhere after Stowe. The car looks like it's in the correct shape. I think he's just gone miles off the road, and now it looks like he's getting back on the case again. So yeah, he's overtaking cars off track, and he's then given the positions back again.
Yeah, that was quite an interesting scene. I wish we had seen the start of it, but we're about to see the start of this fight between Escher and Trouble, at least this phase of it, because they have been battling it out for quite some time.
That they have. The Dodge having the upper hand on Escher at the moment. Bearing in mind this is Escher's first race of the season, and it's good to see that he has joined us. They come through bridge down towards Priory. I've seen both of these cars off onto the dust a couple of times in the race, certainly once, at least once in the race. And both hanging on in there and still fighting for 16th place.
It does seem like the gap between Ricky and Keza staying relatively consistent. Keza having the fastest lap in the first stint. I don't think he's quite got what it takes in this race to match the pace of Matt's second stint. Gillish, though, still managing to hold on, only 1.1 seconds behind Keza. Not a whole lot of breathing space there for the German.
Not at the moment, but still another, we've got 12 laps to go. Anything can happen. These cars are pretty unforgiving. They will bite you without any particular warning, or they certainly bite me often enough.
Also, the delta time says that Escher is ahead of Trouble, so Trouble better put the pedal to the metal to make sure the game actually classifies him as being ahead of Escher. As we've just lost our last place driver, I believe that was Eddie at this stage, so very unfortunate to see one of our winners drop out as Trouble, sending it way too deep into that corner.
Yeah, well spotted. That is indeed Eddie that has decided to park. He had been through the pits twice as Escher has a look in the outside line coming into club. Yeah, he can't do it. There was no real overlap there. We'll see if he's able to get the exit though. The Dodge gluing itself to the inside line. That was enough to disrupt the momentum from Escher as they continue on the way down to Abbey.
Yeah, you can see the closing speed into the slow section always quite severe for Escher, but manages to not run into the back of Trouble, which is always nice. Unless you were the opposite of a Trouble fan, as Bullet Sand now coming in for their second stop.
Yep. Bearing in mind the Bullet Sand was very early into the pits in this race. Was up to 8th, but the fuel tank likely being his biggest betrayer there. As Ricky.
Just taking a quick look at the latest lap times. I wonder if Matt's set another really good one, or if Ricky's just gone a little bit slower again. Ricky currently still slower than Keza. That gap now 8.9 seconds.
Indeed, so Matt's continuing to press on. There is Escher still on the back of Trouble.
And must be said as well for 9th position, Mammoth putting a bit more pressure on Barrett now after returning to the correct layout.
Yep, that was a lot of lawn mowing that Mammoth was doing. Mammoth going for that wider line, either by intent or not, coming out of club. As he continues.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it was asphalt, so I think he was just trying to rubber in a part of the track that's not being used as much at the moment.
An interesting thought. Oh, there's Escher still pressing Trouble. As the Maserati, again, he's trying that move, and he wants the inside line for the exit of club. Can't get it, though. He's trying to wrong foot the dodge. Club is a very long corner in this layout. Axis is now right there behind them.
Yeah, so could turn this into a 3-car fight. And you can see, I think multiple times now, trying to get a switch back into that previous corner. There's just not enough traction for it there. You want to be on the inside of the previous one, and if you're not there, you want to be on the bumper of the car ahead into that corner. So it's not quite paying off Escher's tactics at the moment, but it's enough to keep him close.
God, we saw in the braking zone as we're riding on board with Escher, Trouble was full opposite lock, turning right into a left-hander, so the tail was determined to let go in the dodge, but Trouble had that one under control. Yeah, Escher was never going to make that work. Around the outside of left field is always a dangerous move, but cuts back underneath the dodge very nicely there and storms through into 15th. There comes Axis as Trouble just flirts with the grass. Oh, Axis! Oh, I wondered if he was going to commit to the inside of Cops there. Too wide through Cops is always a challenge. Gets a decent exit, but so does the Dodge and the Slipstream and the Maserati. They remain where they are, but Axis is looming very large in the mirrors of Trouble.
Yeah, these cars not exactly the type that you want to send it really hard into a braking zone. Lockup's very much possible, so X is thinking better of it, but I think with how long that Escher and Trouble have been fighting for, I don't think there's too much danger of Escher really running away with this. As you can see, Trouble benefiting from the slipstream there, pulling away a bit from Exus.
Oh, the Maserati looked like he went a little bit deep there, but was able to shut the door before Trouble could capitalise on it. The battle for 9th between Mammoth and Bent is still very, very close as well. So yeah, we're getting into the closing stage of the race, and still with battles going on all over the place. Looks like that Maserati really does favour that wider line coming through club. They're closing in on Condor, so the Ferrari flavoured Maseratis will be reunited soon. Oh, that's deep.
Ooh,
So
deep,
for
yep.
Escher. Yeah. So
Too deep indeed.
Yeah, but Trouble couldn't capitalise on it.
So we are now into the double digits for the fight for the lead. So I think Matt's well and truly making a statement there for Ricky that he is in control of this race.
He is for now. Let's see if he's able to hang on to that. Slightly different line there from Trouble. Oh, you saw the tail of the Maserati try and let go. So the rear tyres are starting to scream in these cars then. I will never get bored of the sound of that Lamborghini. So they all actually make a really, really nice noise. But I do love the Lamborghini in particular. It's a shame there is only one of them in the field.
We can hear a bit of the fresh exhaust fumes from the back as well.
Very true.
Trouble under a bit of pressure now out of this fast section. It's a chance for Exus, but will the slipstream save him?
Could well do. It doesn't look like... Oh, Exus is staying very much in the tyre tracks of the Dodge, but can't capitalise just yet. I did wonder if he was going to throw it on the inside of Stowe. He did not do so. Stays where he is in 17th for now. Oh, saying that he's having a look at the inside of the club. No, can't get it done. Oh, that's Escher. Escher's gone round. That's such a shame. Probably locked up the rears going into club. Gets a go again. Oh, don't spin again.
We did see Escher going into that corner a little bit too deep previously as well, so not the first time. This time, though, I think with a bit less pressure, so a somewhat embarrassing mistake, but only a couple seconds behind. If any of that pack end up spinning, that will be a free position for Escher as well. Meanwhile, I just want to take a quick look at the lap times between Ricky and Keza again, see if there's any evolution there. Keza continuing to be 0.3 a lap faster, though at this rate, I'm not sure if that's going to be enough.
Time will tell. You can see how easy it is to make a mistake in these cars. As we look at Mammoth, this is the battle for 9th position. Mammoth in the tyre tracks of the JPS Maserati. Silence is saying his S-tier skin didn't save him.
I was just reading that as well.
Mammoth is really piling on the pressure to Ben. These two have been locked together for quite a while. The rest of the field are pretty much minding their own business by this stage. They're probably glad of it, because these cars are quite a challenge to wrestle around.
Yeah, we saw a battle for P5 earlier, but I think Warlord's kind of just settled in there behind Cuckoo. Cuckoo, as I've said many times before, not at all an easy car to overtake. Getting a decent result here, but just not quite with a chance of a podium tonight.
No, indeed. Nonetheless, disaster befalls one of our current podium sitters. Here's Andrew. He's up to his customary 8th. So,
I think this is how it was meant to be.
Ironically, we say his customary 8th. He hasn't finished 8th all season. So Andrew is 15th, 6th, and 4th, and 17th. Well, I think in fairness to Andrew, yes, he was last in Spa, but the wheel clamp broke on the run up to the race. He had to race on controller. So yeah, we'll cut Andrew some slack on that one.
See, I think Andrew's just trying to collect all the P8s. He's trying to get P8 in practice, in quality, in the race, in the championship. As things currently stand in the championship, he's currently 10th. So if he can get a few more points compared to his rivals, that P8, even in the standings, will be greeting him very soon.
It's an unusual target to have, but there we go.
This here is Mammoth's target, P9, occupied by Baron. He leaves the inside open, but he just doesn't go for it, does Mammoth. He stays behind.
Discretion's the better part of valor there. Did not want to clatter onto the inside of Bernd there. But Bernd goes straight to the defensive line into club. Oh, a little bit of contact between the two. Nothing that's going to cause him any real harm. But there you just saw the Aston get a little bit unsettled there. Tiny bit of power too early through club. Again, very, very easy to do. And it was enough to just disrupt the momentum for Mammoth.
See Mammoth really hitting the apex there, but it's cost him for the next corner. Went in a little too deep. A double corner like that, you always want to go slow in, fast out.
Oh, that's deep though for the Maserati, but Ben manages to just maintain the momentum.
Further behind, you still have trouble within spitting distance of Exus. No moves on just yet, but perhaps Exus can try to catch Condor up ahead in these final 6 laps. The race leader now 14.5 seconds ahead of anyone else. You wouldn't have guessed it at the midway point in this race, but Ricky not able to keep up with Mats. Mats' teammate seemingly locked in at the same, well, it almost looks like the same pace because he's still 7 seconds behind, but he is in fact a couple of tenths a lap faster. Gillis just looking at Keza gradually pulling away. Still a danger, but not an immediate imminent threat. Cuckoo fairly comfortably in 5th position as Warlord slowly getting caught by Fennec, I believe, and then behind you have Andrew, who I'm sure, even if he gets the chance to overtake P7, will just stay in P8.
Could well do, but again, you have to be in the right place at the right time to capitalise on someone else's mistake, as Mammoth gets the inside line on Bernard Stowe. but he's still behind. He's going to have the outside line coming into Club, unless he's going to really string it around the outside. He's gone for it. Oh, but a tiny bit of oversteer there, and that's going to be a half spin. Oh, well, Helter. Mammoth hangs onto that as he finds a bit of concrete. But that's going to drop him way behind Ben. That's a shame. That was a great battle. But it is victory to, for the time being at least, for the battle for ninth for JPS Maserati of Ben.
Yeah, it did give us a bit of a high definition look of the old stretch of airport there, which is still on this layout.
True enough.
Old RAF base, of course. What's going on in 15th position at the moment? I think Trouble has started to get a little bit closer to Exus, and Exus has been doing the same to Condor. This fight may well converge into a three-way battle in the final lap.
Time will tell. Down the oh, I wondered if the Lamborghini was going a bit deep there, going into Abbey, but that looked okay. We're right on board then with Trouble, who's one of the few drivers that seems to be using both hands on the wheel.
Oh, true.
Maybe that's what the 2X is.
Trouble two hands.
Yeah, very strange that both drivers are being shown driving one-handed.
Let's check out his brother Fennec, also driving with two hands.
Oh, yeah, safety first.
Oh, wait, has the bug fixed itself? Because Mats has two hands as well.
Oh, it seems
Go
to
down
me.
the entire field.
It seems to me everybody has found their right hand.
They've all locked in for this race.
There we go then. So everybody is driving two-handed now. Confirmed.
It's just AMS two things, John.
Yeah. How many things can be attributed to that?
It's called the Madness Engine for a reason.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
You can see Exus has made up even more ground on Condor now. Unfortunately, Bullet Sand here missing an apex.
Oops. Yeah, stays on track, but he's a lap down from our leader. So we look at the second of the Falcon-coloured cars, very much in the tyre tracks of Condor now. The
scuba gear.
Scuba gear was put away when the sun came out. Oh dear. Oh, Galaxy
Ooh.
started playing PT2 again and still loving it. Oh, you're in good company here, young man.
Yeah, if I can give some shameless advertising, there are actually still weekly PC2 races going on every Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. Central European time. That's 7 p.m. for Brits.
Nicely done.
Look in the lobbies, it's always labeled as Phoenix Fun Races.
Awesome stuff. Exus really giving Condor something to think about now. As we said earlier, he's been closing that gap down to the Maserati for a while. Riding on board with the Lamborghini. Can he get the overspeed he needs? Not from the exit of Luffield just yet. Through Woodcote.
Well, that's very defensive, very early.
Yeah. Outside line of Woodcote is never an ideal position to be in. Now is the Lamborghini going to get the cut underneath the Maserati? He's gone for it. He wants to get the move done before they get down to Nagant. So side by side, the Lamborghini's ahead. Nicely done. So that's Exus sweeps through into 14th place.
Now he just has to hold that car out on track for another 3 laps. And he's still got the pressure from 2 drivers now behind him. Meanwhile, the battle for P2 seems to be heating up a little bit. That gap now down to just 4 seconds. So if Keza can catch Ricky by about a second a lap, maybe a bit more. Oh, that's Trouble sending it down the inside.
That was a very sudden maneuver there for Trouble. He I'm not sure he was intending to make a move on the inside of Stowe. I think Condor slowed down a bit harder than he was expecting. Gets the inside line on Condor, but he's now going to be forced to the outside line of Club. Maserati noses back ahead, still side by side to get into the traction zone. I think Condor's going to hang on to that one. He does. Trouble's going to try again though. He's got the overspeed. Condor seems to be really struggling now. Has Trouble noses ahead. Does he? Doesn't he? Does he? Doesn't he? Coming into Abbey.
They touch.
That's a bit of grass there for Trouble. That's going to cost him momentum. That's exactly what Exus wants. It's given him about a second, 1.3 seconds then over these two. I wonder if Condor's burnt the best out of his tyres.
Yeah, that was actually quite interesting to see. I mean, Condor pretty much the only driver to make the outside of that particular corner work so far that we've seen. So well held there to Condor. I think Trouble either sensing some weakness there as Exus had just overtaken Condor, or starting to get a little bit desperate now that we're getting close to the end of the race. I'm sure P16 is not what he wants to go home with. Let's quickly check on Keza as well. Does he have a visual on Ricky?
He's got him in his sights, but there's still 3 or so seconds between the pair of them, and with as many laps remaining, that's a big ask. Not impossible. Warlord, though, on the back of Cuckoo. He's been staring at her tail for quite a while, and the Corvette has now got the Aston breathing down its neck. The Maserati, beg your pardon, breathing down her neck. So will Cuckoo have to be defensive, or will she just continue to run her own race?
Yeah, it doesn't quite seem to be as desperate as before when they ended up racing on tires that were a lot older than the competition's. So still relatively comfortable there going into these final few laps, as you can see Condor dancing around with the rear. Trouble is not giving up.
No, indeed, nor should he do so. Condor, though, do what he needs to do to keep the green Dodge at bay. I think this Condor's has got no tyres left. The traction is really failing. That Maserati, flirts with the grass, does trouble. He backed out of that. He had the momentum there through bridge, but couldn't use it. He was too close to the tail of the Maserati. Warlord, and looked like he backed out of that. He got very, very close to the Corvette there, but no dice just yet.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more pressure than I thought. The timer saying that Warlord's already gotten the overtake done, but that's clearly not quite the case.
Not yet, but Cuckoo's got a lot of defending to do now. There goes Trouble, inside line, coming up towards Cops.
Yeah. Perfect timing.
Yeah, perfect timing indeed, and that should be a straightforward manoeuvre for the Dodge, but Condor's not giving up on it yet. Looming large in the mirrors. He's got to settle into the rhythm though for Backers. Nearly slammed into the back of the Dodge. I think it was a tiny mistake there from Trouble that just cost him a bit of momentum. Condor couldn't use it though. Out through Chapel, and yeah, look at the traction that Trouble gets there. Condor's got no answer to that.
Yeah, I think Trouble's kind of dodged a disaster there, as he's now up into 15th. Pressure continues to mount for Cuckoo in 5th, and Keza can still see the pink color of Ricky. Maybe not quite close enough to see the Neon Cat just yet. Still on the final lap now.
Indeed. And you've got to say, it's been a pretty flawless race from Matt. If he carries on like this, he'll be our first double winner of the season. Really, with Keza coming home in 3rd, that's going to put a big old dent in the lead that Keza has over Matt. Will still be in Keza's possession, and Keza will continue his run of podiums all season long. There's JD looking at the back of Xevious.
Yeah, so pressure mounting here too, but they don't have much time left to go for any sort of move. Keza, you can see he's getting closer, but I think just running out of laps now. It's his team that enters the final sector for the final time. Matt's making a statement here, and even for the team, I mean, I don't see anyone else dethroning them in the team standings at this point. Both drivers have been performing exceptionally so far this season.
That they have. Out of Luffield for the final time through Woodcote. Your winner here in Silverstone. Flash of the lights. You deserve to be happy with that. Matt takes the win. Our first double winner of the season. Ricky is going to come home in 2nd. A valiant effort to hold on to the lead as long as he did, but there was no answer to the ultimate pace of the Lemon Astons. Ricky comes home 2nd. Keza, another podium. He keeps his 100% podium record intact as he rounds out the podium 3. Gillish, valiant effort in the Maserati. He's going to come home.
Fennec has joined this fight.
Fennec right on Warlord's tail. So Cuckoo comes home in 5th position. Another fine finish there. Fennec's stolen it. Fennec stole 6th away from Warlord.
Did Warlord run out of fuel?
No, I think he touched the grass. Wait, if he did run out of fuel, then that's really unfortunate for him. He might have done. He did! Oh no! Warlord ran out of fuel on the run to the line, and that lost him 6th place to Fennec. Oh no! That is so unfortunate. Andrew comes home in 8th position, Burn 9th, Mammoth 10th, Jedlin 11th. Well, Jedlin is yet to cross the line. Here comes JD, almost nudges the back of Xevious. Can't quite get the traction where he needs it. Jedlin is going to come home in 11th, Xevious 12th. JD goes onto the grass. And Xevious holds on to 12th. JD 13th. Exis in the Lamborghini leads this trio home. In 14th place, Trouble in 15th, Condor in 16th. Oh, Wooden Spoon is going to go to Bullet Sand, who finished a lap down. Well, actually, both of our remaining finishers were a lap down. Oh, goodness me. So
many last lap fights.
That was absolutely incredible. So there it is then. Matt takes the win. Ricky second, Kaiser third, Gillish fourth, Cuckoo in fifth, Fennec sixth, Warlord 7th, Andrew 8th, Burn 9th, Mammoth rounds out the top 10, Jedlin 11th, Xevious 12th, Gnome 13th, Exodus 14th, Trouble 15th, Condor 16th, Asher 17th, Bullisan 18th. We lost in the course of the race, Eddie and Tom Goodwrench. What a race.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely had some moments there where the field was a bit more spread out than we're typically used to. No completely dull moments, though, as there were pretty much battles continuously throughout the race. And then I think like a good 4 or 5 separate battles all just converging on the exact final lap. And you could even see there almost a photo finish for Fennec and Warlord, if not for that lack of fuel. That's horrible timing for the rookie.
Oh, goodness me. That was just intense. From start to finish there. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Right, so we'll give our drivers a few moments to gather themselves after that. I would imagine there's a few things that, well, we didn't see an awful lot of, big incidents, did we? Self-induced incidents, yes, but...
We did end up with 3 commentators' curses tonight, so we did have some involvement at the very least with the chaos that was there.
We need to try harder for next time, then.
I'll go ahead and bring in our first interviewee. That's going to be Ricky, our P2 finisher.
Alrighty.
Welcome, Ricky. It was a very strong first half of the race and a relatively strong second half because you still came home with P2, but Matt's just not quite able to hold on to him. What happened there with the pace?
Hello again. It's me, second place. Yeah, it was incredible to win the qualification. I have no words for this. It was great, and yeah, the pace in the race. It was clear that he can drive faster, and that I can hold him behind me until the pit stops was a great effort for me. My nerves, everything is over.
I don't blame you for that. Now, of course, he was putting pressure on you for that entire first stint and ended up coming out a good 2 or 3 seconds ahead of you after the pit stops. Do you think that's because he was just able to save a tiny bit of fuel while harassing you for the first half of that race?
Yeah, I think so. My plan was also to bring the 18 laps in the first stint, but it was not possible with that much pressure from behind, and yeah, that was the problem, to lose the victory.
Yeah, and it was fairly close for P2 in the end as well. He finished exactly to the millisecond, 3 seconds ahead of Keza. How come that gap ended up getting so small towards the end? Were you just trying to bring it home?
I checked that I have to save fuel to get the race done. The cars, the fuel consumption is getting higher with the time of the race. At the beginning, the Aston needs 6 liters per lap, and at the end, 7.5.
Well, that's fascinating.
Yeah, and so I have to switch the ECU on low budget. and I saved some fuel for the last one lap to get full throttle, but yes, I managed the situation, and I'm fine with the second place.
I mean, a second place in an MSR championship is absolutely nothing to scoff at. So I can only congratulate you for it. And I have one final question for you, Ricky, and that is, will you be getting an extra beer tonight? Because that is what one of our viewers has wondered.
Oh yes, definitely. I have normally one beer on the race and a few beers after.
All right. Well, congrats on that second place. I hope you enjoy the fruits of your labor and whatever is going to be in that drink. Have a good one.
Yeah, thank you guys. Bye bye.
All right. Next up is going to be our third place finisher. As that was interesting. I was actually in the middle of dragging Ricky when he disappeared from all the voice chats. All right. Oh,
Hello.
was that some foul language on our family-friendly stream?
No, I was gonna say fastest, not
Oh, okay.
FUCK.
Well, you were almost the fastest. You finished on the podium tonight, very close to Ricky in the end. Tell us your
Yeah.
side of the story.
Yeah, to be honest, not that much to say. I don't know if Ricky already talked about tires, but I chose hards on the left and mediums on the right.
Ooh, interesting choice.
I had a little bit of a skill issue, I think, at least it was a skill issue, in the second sector, where I almost re-ended my teammate and decided to take off track instead.
Yeah, we saw the aftermath of that. We didn't quite catch the beginning part, and I do have to apologize. I didn't ask Ricky about tires because I was too busy asking him about his beers. But yeah, go on.
Beer is a good shout. I should probably also get one. Anyway, yeah, and after I pretty much brake too late, and then just took avoiding action, going off and spinning. So I flat spotted my tires a bit. And so the first stint wasn't that great. I also had a bit of issues against Gillis and Andrew, despite I think I had more pace, definitely. But yeah, with the tires, it wasn't that great. Up until that point, I was actually considering going for no tires because the hards were decent. And yeah, and then I pitted, and yeah, I just thought I could serve my tires a bit early in the stint and push later. And to be honest, I just started pushing too late, probably. And then on the last lap, I was trying insane stuff and looking up. So,
yeah, we definitely saw that gap come down to quite a small margin, exactly 3 seconds down to the millisecond in the end. Now, about the tires, was the main issue that they were actually suffering from wear, or was it overheating?
Both. So the left tires were definitely more stressed in terms of wear. But also, I felt like the hards behaved better with higher temperature.
Interesting.
So, not necessarily faster, but more predictable. And yeah, I just felt more confident, more safe with that tire setup. In hindsight, I probably could have tried to only change the left side tires, but I didn't set it up for that. I only had 2 pit strategies with full tires or no tires. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm pretty happy, to be honest, with P3 in the end. I don't think I had quite the pace to catch catch Mats anyway. And Ricky, yeah, well, it is what it is. And yeah, but I think so far every race I was on the podium. Am I right?
You are
Yes,
indeed
Kodiak
correct.
has been mentioning that throughout the stream, so I think the people should definitely know that your accomplishments this season are not limited to most likely already having locked in the constructors.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like if Mats wins all the last races, I'm still like not gonna win. But yeah, at this point, you start to do the math a bit and think about the championship. But yeah,
And think about when to press the mass disconnect button.
Yeah, no, I obviously only disconnect my championship contenders. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's definitely good tinfoil hat information to end this interview on. So thank you very much for coming on, Case. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Bye bye.
Enjoy the beer. All right, who else are we going to pull in here? I almost feel like bullying Andrew because he's probably got a bunch of people watching his Discord stream right now, but I will show some mercy and bring in Cuckoo instead.
See you spin. Oh, hello.
Hello there, Cuckoo. I don't think we saw you spin tonight.
No, I was talking about K's.
Yeah, so your race, I don't think you got the most screen time, but you did hold off both Fennec and Warlord there at the death of it.
Yeah, it was calm and uneventful for the most part, which is not in itself a bad thing. I think I was just pretty much flow state for like a good 3 quarters of the thing, just casually putting in laps, minding my own business.
Mm-hmm.
Repeatedly asking how my fuel is to crew chief because I hate fuel saving. Yeah, a decent place. Picked up a position from Andrew spinning early on, I think it was, which put me up to 5th. And then I just kind of sat in no man's land for basically the rest of the race. I noticed Warlord starting to catch me up just before the pit stops, and then he continued slowly gaining afterwards, which was not helped by a couple of errors that I made, but not too bad. But he definitely caught me up at the end there, which was mildly nerve-wracking. He had maybe one proper go at it, and then I parked the bus on the apex, and he had to get off the throttle, which ruined his exit. But yeah, it was a decent battle. He had me watching my mirrors for a good while.
Well, that at least gave you something other than the empty track directly ahead of you to look at. Now, do you have any sort of confirmation on what happened to Warlord at the end? Did he, in fact, run out of fuel on the line?
I didn't see, to be honest. I was kind of hoping that if that's what happened, then that's tragic, but I was kind of hoping. I could see him pushing and gaining, and I was kind of thinking, I really hope he suddenly has to fuel save. Because that's what I was doing for pretty much my entire stint, aside from maybe like 2 laps. So I was kind of banking on him having to ease off and fuel save, but that's tragic if that's what actually happened right at the line.
Now, I have some other news for you as well. We actually had your former teammate Binding in the chat earlier watching your race.
I saw. Yes, I was harassing them into watching.
Oh, okay. So I was about to say, do you have a message for Binding? But apparently you already sent some.
Well, I harassed him into watching. So if he's still here, hi Binding, you should come back. It's fun.
Blink twice if you're still alive, Binding.
I think Binding disappeared earlier on. So
not a real fan, clearly.
I don't think he could handle the fact that you were having a boring race without any horrible incidents.
I know. It's kind of off character for me this season. just calm and clinical, really, for the most part.
Well, hopefully next time we'll see.
Something terrible went wrong.
I'm seeing some fan theories that Binding's been bound and tossed into the river.
I believe it.
Didn't specify which river, though, so that could well be the river in Lego City. But thank you very much for coming on, Cuckoo. Hopefully next week's a bit more eventful for you. We definitely caught plenty of action on stream, so if you want to see some of that, then feel free later.
Yep, hopefully another good result next week without anything going terribly wrong, which seems to have been my MO for this season so far, but hopefully there's a few more clean ones in there somewhere.
I think
Fingers crossed.
I think Binding did actually tell me off for a mistake I made. I refer to you as he, which I do apologise for. That's more habit than anything else. So, but yeah, Binding did say fairly early on, just popped in to give support to you.
It's fine, don't worry. But yeah, so hopefully some more clean ones. So looking forward to it. And then I'll have to go and find out what did happen to Binding.
We're going to have to wait and see if there's a Mr. Clean sponsorship on that car next season. But thank you very much for coming on, Cuckoo, and looking forward to the next one.
Yep, hopefully something to celebrate. We'll see.
All right, next interview is going to be... let's go ahead and bring in the brothers.
Oh, hello.
Welcome to the whole family. Now, Fennec, you had quite the finish, I must say. Do you know what exactly happened to Warlord?
He ran out of fuel.
Ooh, okay, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is official confirmation. That is what we were thinking as well, but Did he say anything about that before you guys crossed the line, or was it like a silent surprise?
I think he muttered something as we went across the line, but I wasn't sure.
Ooh.
But he confirmed it afterwards when I asked him.
Yeah, I mean that's not the way you want to finish a pretty much hour-long race, of course. What lap did you join that battle? Because I mean, we did see that he was putting pressure on Cuckoo. I didn't immediately spot that you were in that fight at all.
I only joined it on the last lap.
And was that because they were getting into a scrap, or were you just pushing that much harder?
I'd been slowly catching previously, and I'd gotten more comfortable with pushing with the warm tyres. And I looked after the match, they all right this time, unlike other races. So I think I had some pace to close in, but without them scrapping, I don't think I would have quite managed to get to the back of them in time.
Now, I did bring you guys both in here at the same time because I want to ask you guys both the same question as well as, do you think the livery would look better with scales on it?
Well, does Rexy have scales?
I mean, he's a dinosaur, he probably should.
But does the actual livery have scales? I'm going to Google it now just in case.
He probably doesn't, to be fair, but if we're going anatomically correct dinosaur, then who knows,
He
maybe
does
even
not.
feathers.
But it might look better with scales. But Martin, if you want to go and do that and then come back and tell me just how much effort that is, then go ahead.
I may well have done that if that was within my set of talents, but unfortunately, as of 2026, I can't quite claim that. Now, Trouble, you had quite a bit of action there towards the wooden spoon end of the grid. It was still some very, very good racing. Tell us who you enjoyed fighting with the most tonight.
Probably with Escher, because we were fighting forever. But though it was good until unfortunately he spun. Also great fighting with Exus and Scuderia Condor. Actually probably the best individual best fight was probably with Condor at the end, when after Exus got past, because I thought, well, I'm right on the back of him, and was just sending some interesting moves that I wouldn't usually do. Partly because, well, my tyres were running out, and I was just thinking, if I don't do it now, I might be sliding all over the place afterwards.
Yeah, we did mention that it was quite a daring lunge that we weren't entirely expecting, but it was great to see. Now, another question I have for you is, before the race, was Fennec lagging like an absolute madman on your screen too?
Yes.
Yep,
Ooh,
on everyone's
interesting.
screens. Steam was doing an update.
So, did that mean that everyone else was lagging for you, Fennec?
No.
Interesting. It's a one-way train there. Huh.
Yes. But yeah, that's despite having the setting that is supposed to prevent Steam from doing updates whilst playing games turned off.
See, the fact that that's a one-way train, though, that is a very interesting strategy-wise, because you could forcibly install an update mid-race and then have yourself lagging for everyone else, and they're gonna be fine on your screen, so you can race perfectly fine, but they're gonna be scared to get near you. You might get kicked from the league for that.
The
but...
racing would be as fun that way. And also, I think I've had it in a casual race once before where that's happened, and people tried so much to avoid me and weren't sure where I was that they actually got in my way more. So, it's not a perfect solution, unfortunately.
In qualifying, it did look like you had dramatically shortened your car.
I'm not sure why that would be.
Perhaps illegal setup modifications, but I'll have to end the interview there because we do still have some more people in the line. So thank you guys very much for coming on, and hope you guys have more battles like that next week.
Right. So.
Yep. Thanks very much for having us. Thanks for the stream. I was watching it throughout.
Hey.
And also, thanks for seemingly ignoring whenever I messed up and fell behind someone. That happened multiple times. It's nice for you not to show my mistakes.
Well, we'll have to send you the bank account for that bribe a little bit later. So thank you very much, Trouble, and enjoy your evening.
Cheers. See ya.
All right, we have a grand total of 2 interviews left. Next up will be Burnt, finished in 9th place. Bernd, welcome. That's a top 10 finish for you. Perhaps a little bit more pace in the car?
Thank you. Well, it was probably the hardest fought top 10 finishing for me so far.
Ooh.
I had like Mammoth the entire second stint behind me, and that was quite stressful, especially with all the fuel saving that I had to
Yeah, I
do.
mean, I can imagine, especially if you've seen Mammoth's performance there in the first race of the season. That is definitely not a driver that you want behind you, especially for that length of time.
Yeah, especially like with all the fuel saving, he basically was a lot faster, and yeah, it wasn't really that easy to manage.
Now, we do know it's stressful to keep drivers like that behind you, but did you enjoy it?
It was enjoyable, yes, even though I aged like 10 years.
Yeah, it's the opposite to Eternal Youth right there. But besides the very tough, successful battle with Mammoth, what other sort of action did you get up to tonight?
Honestly, not that much. I mean, Andrew absolutely surprised me with his sand. Not sure if you caught that one on stream.
I think we might have it. I'm not 100% sure.
So that was pure determination from his side there. And otherwise, yeah, just my usual delta between like my qualifying performance and my race performance that I can't really comprehend yet. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that. Otherwise, I led my teammate through in the early stages of the race towards like cops. Because I already was in full fuel saving mode.
That early already, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I only knew that I had to get down to like, I think 5.7 or something regarding average fuel per lap. And that is basically like 0.8 that I needed to save each single lap, so yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting because we have been hearing some people complaining about spending 7 liters of fuel per lap, so it seems to vary a bit from car to car and even from stint to stint. I did have another question for you. Yeah, so how do you feel about having perhaps the highest rated livery on the grid?
Oh boy. I mean, I didn't make it myself, so I'd like to take that honor, you know, but I guess that award goes to Casey himself.
Now, there are some slight variations between you and your teammate's car. Which flag do you think looks better on it, the Austrian or the Belgian flag?
The Austrian flag, of course.
Yeah, no biases there whatsoever, of course.
I mean,
It does look very good on the car.
Is it even a question, you know?
I mean, to be fair, a third of that flag is exactly the same color.
Yeah, but not the necessary one. But you know?
I'll have to wait and see if perhaps one of the countries will change flags at some point in the future, make that car look even better. But thank you very much for coming on, Bernd. It's been a pleasure having you on, and I hope you have maybe a slightly less stressful race next week.
Thanks for having me. See you around. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Now it is time for our final interview of the evening. Actually, Kodiak, have you been keeping count of how many interviews we've been doing? Because that would be quite funny if this is the 8th interview.
It hasn't been that many, I don't think.
All right, well, I'm going to interrupt Andrew's stream real quick. Welcome, Andrew, in what I'm not sure if you're the 8th interview, but you definitely finished an 8th, so tell us how you feel.
I'm seething a bit, to be honest.
You were in podium contention. What happened?
I went a tiny bit too fast into cops, and the rear end just went.
Yeah,
You know, running 4 rear wing. You know, that's what the Viper's like. The Aston can just run 0. I'm not
Yeah, it does
used
make the
to
wing feel a bit useless, unfortunately. Now, I have to ask you another question, because obviously you were in the chat during practice, and I think a bit of quality as well. Did you have the stream open during the race by any chance?
Yeah, I always do.
Oh, so was my bad pun involved in any way in making you spin there?
No, I was thoroughly filtering you out at that point. I was trying to concentrate.
Can't
Clearly
fault you for that.
work. Maybe
Cannot
you got
fault
me
you for that.
subconsciously. You sabotage me.
See, I can't even really count that as a curse though, because I wasn't even talking about you. Now we did end up cursing 3 people. I'll quickly see who those were again. We ended up cursing Exevius, Tom, and Trouble. If you could double the power of a curse, which one of those 3 would you double it for?
Exevius.
Your own teammate.
Yeah, for
Straight
not
in
making the
there.
livery. He sent me the livery he's gonna make. It's really nice.
Well, actually,
still waiting
could you
for
share a
Exevius.
picture of it?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll expose him in 4K.
Well, send it to me so I can put it on stream.
Yeah, all right. I think it's an Orica livery from the early 2000s. It looks really nice.
So it actually would have been different from his typical livery then.
Yeah. Let me just open up DMs.
He's hacking.
Yeah,
into
no,
the
the
mainframe.
file is too high fidelity to send. I'll try and find a lower picture while she asks more questions.
I mean, you could try and take a screenshot of it.
Well, send
Yeah, good idea.
it to me for. We'll put it on for next week.
No, I got this.
Yeah, he's determined to do it now.
Also, gotta love how the last message in chat is still Binding's been bound and tossed into the river.
Yeah.
Hell Boulevard and Blackroom Trust.
That does look an amazing livery. I'm going to have to put that on stream.
Yeah.
I was about to say I can currently not see anything, so I have no clue what he's on about.
A bit better than a fucking question mark on a black.
But Andrew, it has a white box around it.
It does. That's some high level livery making. From
See, at the very least, it has the driver number on it, or it might have been disqualified from competing.
Yeah, we both took Lewis Hamilton numbers naturally.
There we go. I've put it on stream now. Friend and center.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a look. It's currently. Oh, wait, is that an actual screenshot from the game?
No,
That is very high quality.
No, that's not. That's not a game shot. No.
Oh, okay. I was about to say that is quite something.
You're going crazy, man.
You know, I have to say, if this livery had made it in, I would have given it S tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And instead, you're stuck with a C and a D.
It should have been. You should have just disqualified it. I mean, you had some questionable rankings on the tier list, I think.
I think we get those allegations pretty much every season, but
Where did you put the Falcon livery?
well, maybe it's best I don't repeat that.
You put it in C tier, didn't you? And where did you
Something
put
had to go in C tier this season. There were too
where
many
did you
good
put
liveries.
Drink and Drive Saxony?
I'm afraid my memory might be failing me. I've just seen so much racing tonight.
It was above C tier, so you're rage baiting with.
Well, anyway, Andrew, you had quite an interesting race. So, who exactly did you fight with again?
Gillis, Kaiser, then I span out. I pitted behind Bent and Mammoth. I got past them in the opening laps of the second stint, and then I was distinctly watching Fennec for the rest of the race whilst doing heavy fuel saving.
Yeah, now about that fuel saving, I'm not entirely sure in what stint you got your fastest lap, but you are in the 46s. The people you were fighting with before the spin are all in the, well, except for Gillis, are all in the 45s and 44s. Now, do you think you would have been able to hold on in a second stint in that battle?
No. I would have finished fifth because of the fuel saving was just too much.
And which part of the track do you think would be the most likely to get mugged because of the fuel saving?
Stowe. Into Stowe Corner, doing a really big lift there.
Yeah, that's just more confirmation of super clipping and MSR, but I'd have to say, yeah, it's been an interesting evening. Unfortunately, we did catch that spin on camera, so if you want to torture yourself, you can go and watch that later, but definitely quite a few battles tonight. A good 4 or 5 fights converging at the end. Andrew, did you see what happened to Warlord?
I didn't see. I was too far behind at that point, but I know what happened.
Yeah, that was quite a dramatic finish indeed. I'm very glad that we caught that on board because I was not expecting that. I think Warlord wasn't entirely expecting that either. I mean, missing just what, a good 50 meters worth of fuel. That's just like fuel saving in one corner. Would have been enough to salvage that. So that's all hindsight information there. But Andrew, with the optimistic pace that you had in the first stint, do you think you can still salvage a podium in the final 2 races of the season?
Well, Kaiser says that the next track will be good for the Viper, but I don't know whether to trust him considering he put the Aston and the Viper in the same block bracket. So we'll see.
Have you driven Fontana RC before?
No, but oval road courses usually suck. So
Ooh.
we'll
Heard
see.
it here first.
Yeah, I was about to ask if maybe it's going to be a love-hate relationship if you end up winning that race with that track, but only one way to find out, and that's by showing up again next week. So thank you very much, Andrew, for coming on, and congrats on obtaining yet another P8.
Yeah, and only 9 points behind P8 in the championship as well. So
It's coming, I'm telling you.
that's the target. See you later.
Have a good one. All right, that is it for the interviews.
All right, so that will wrap things up for tonight. Thank you very much to those that have been with us either live or post-event. Your presence is always welcome. As you can see on screen, we head to Fontana next time out. Not a track I'm familiar with off the top of my head, but look forward to it nonetheless. Thank you very much, Martin.
It's not a track for RC cars, by the way. Just want to clarify that.
Thank you very much, Martin, for being in control of the cameras. Your presence is always welcome, sir.
Happy to be here, as I think my game just crashed.
Excellent. And, of course, thank you very much to our drivers for putting on a wonderful show, as always. So we will be back next week for our penultimate round of the season. We hope you'll join us then. Until next time, thank you very much, and good night.
Good night, everyone.